winning the title. But LeBron apparently already moving on from his fourth title because earlier this week he posted himself watching The Last Dance with the caption, "Back at it, doing my homework." Now, while he's learning from Michael Jordan, others are apparently busy comparing them to each other because former Warriors forward Mo Speights posting a meme with Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan that included this text. "Back then, we used to celebrate three-peats. Now kids are out here celebrating 4 titles in 10 tries and calling it greatness." Now, when Speights posted it, he wrote, "Just the messenger" on top, which, I mean, Mo, you know how much I like you. So as a media advisor, I would say either back up what you're posting or don't post it. That is number one. And number two, that meme implies that LeBron got his finals appearances out of a cereal box or something and then just didn't do enough with them. For a decade, this man has been in the finals every year but the one he got hurt. And if you are still out there pretending that is not an accomplishment in itself, that says more about you than it does about MJ or LeBron. Perk, I should note the tweet is no longer on Mo's page, but do you think him posting this in the first place is fair or foul?
It's foul, and here's why. Right, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but if you're going to post something, like you said, Rachel, stand behind it. Don't say just a messenger because it's coming from your page. You are sending this. This coming from you. So, you know, back in the old school days, my grandpa and grandma used to say, don't throw stones and hide your hand. And that's exactly what he was doing with that post. Own up to it. Stand behind your guns because 30 minutes later, he made his account private when the LeBron fans got on him, and then he started backpedaling. It's okay. If you're going to speak on something, stand behind it. But to another point that you were saying, look, I understand how championships are praised and they should be, but this is a team sport. This is not like boxing. This is not like tennis. This is not like golf where championships define all of your legacy. This is a team sport, and sometimes it's a mixture of everything. Individual accolades, team accolades, everything. LeBron went to the finals over 58% of his career. He's been in the finals. That's an accomplishment in itself. But I mean, like, that's insane. And we're not going to take away from that. So at the end of the day, it was foul. And the reason I say it was foul, because, you know, I feel like this, Rachel and Zach. Everyone loves fruit. Some people love to eat bananas. Some people love to eat apples. Some people love to eat grapes. At the end of the day, they're all great and they're all good for you. So it's your preference. But if you're going to tweet something, stand behind it. Don't just say just the messenger. I might as well start tweeting like that. Zach, you also, Rachel, you should start tweeting like that. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Come on, man.
That was a lot of fruit in Perk's answer. A lot of different kinds of fruits got involved there. Look, Mo Speights, I love watching you play. I love a good Mo bucket streak. I just don't. 10 straight finals is 10 straight finals. A bunch of them were against the Warriors, including when they had Durant. They were unbeatable. Like, it's kind of unassailable. Can I just point one thing out? I just want to point one thing out very gently and very politely, is whenever the media asks LeBron about the Jordan stuff, he kind of poo-poos it and says, oh, that's you guys. I'll leave that to you guys. And then right after he wins the championship, he Instagrams himself watching The Last Dance. Like, what are we even doing here? Why are we pretending like, oh, it's the media. It's just the media that talks about it. Let me just post something else about MJ on social media.
Zach, what do you think when he says, I'm doing my homework? There's not like basketball X and O breakdowns in The Last Dance. It is not Kobe Bryant's details. So what was the homework? Was he talking about how I should run things in what could be one of my last seasons? Was he talking about how to craft and package an image over a 10-part documentary? What was the homework?
I got 2 things. Number one, I hope the Lakers next season don't have the equivalent of a Scotty Burrell. I wonder if LeBron's trying to sharpen his trash talk, if he's got one teammate already picked out. Number 2, maybe he knows. Maybe he realizes that Jordan just looks cooler smoking a cigar than he does, and he's trying to pick up some cigar-smoking tips for the next time. No, but LeBron looked really cool with the smoke going over his head, but Jordan with the cigar and the baseball bat in The Last Dance. I mean, it's just like, I think there's...
Yeah.
there's tips in there for him.
Oh boy. Well, I'm sure he can, you win a title. It means never having to say you're sorry, and you can watch anything you want on TV. All right, we spoke about the Clippers at the top of the show, but let's talk about the two guys that were together on the bench last season, Ty Lue and Doc Rivers. While Doc has moved on to Philly, Ty taking over for him in LA. Zach, which coach do you think is under more pressure this next coming season? Ty with the Clippers or Doc in Philly?
I think it's clearly Ty Lue with the Clippers, and it's not so much like anyone's job is at stake or anything. I mean, these guys are first-year coaches, long-term deals, tons of money. Like, they're fine either way. But I think the expectations for the Sixers should probably be reset a little bit lower after what a disastrous end of the season they had this year, whereas the expectations for the Clippers are still enormous. And as of right now, we'll see what happens this summer, but as of right now, both of their stars can be free agents after next season. Almost the opposite is true in Philly. Embiid and Simmons are locked up long term. So there's just so much riding on next year for the Clippers that it just has to be Ty Lue by default.
Oh, look, I'm with you, Zach. The pressure is on Ty Lue. And Rachel, you know how I've been lobbying for Ty Lue to get a job, and I'm happy that he got it. But the pressure is on him and the Los Angeles Clippers for a lot of reasons. One, it's championship or bust. It's no more excuses for them. Two, they're in the same town as the Los Angeles Lakers, and we all know how that rivalry is, especially right now. All the noise talking you see going back and forth on the internet, all the celebrities that are going back and forth. And then on top of that, let's not forget that Ty Lue turned down the Los Angeles Lakers job last year because he didn't get enough years and enough money, and then took a lesser role with the Clippers. Now all of a sudden he's the Clippers head coach right across town from the rivalry of the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's championship or bust, and there's no other way around it.
Yeah, not even across town, down the hallway. I mean, it's right there in front of his face, in front of everyone's face.
Right.
Zach, I do want to ask you a little bit more about the Philly job. I agree with you that the expectations are higher in LA, but the task in some ways in Philadelphia is a little bit harder with the personnel that they have there right now. They've just been shedding shooters over the past few seasons, and we've seen the effect on Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons trying to play together. And the numbers, I mean, you're much more versed in this than I do about how much flexibility they have in tradable parts over the next season and over what they can do in this offseason. How much pressure is there on Doc to make the pieces that he has in front of them work?
I think it's one of the hardest and most interesting tasks in the league, frankly. I mean, the offense last year with Simmons and Embiid was not very good. It was better when Al Horford was coming off the bench. And I think that's the name we're going to hear a lot in trade rumors is, can they somehow shift Al Horford somewhere else and get pieces that fit around them better? But it's going to be tough to move.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that they're locked into that deal, what they already gave up for Tobias Harris. It is interesting. They definitely need to make some tinkering and changes on the roster. I don't know how much they're going to be able to, and I think that the problem that presents for Doc Rivers it's significant, and I'm interested.